Good morning students. Today I will teach you about the Mughal Empire, lesson number 4. The Sayyid and the Lodi rulers failed to stop the decline of the Delhi Sultanate. Babur took full advantage of the political chaos and established the rule of Mughal dynasty in India. So Babur was the first Mughal emperor, ascended the throne at Fargana, a small principality in Transonia in 1494. He was thrown out of his hometown by Uzbeks. The important Mughal rulers were Babur, Humayun, Akbar, Jahangir, Shah Jahan and Aurangzeb. After Babur's death, Humayun succeeded his father in 1530 to sustain imperial power and hegemony. Humayun had to fight against the Afghans both in the east and the west. The Afghans united under the leadership of Sher Khan, who was popularly known as Sher Shah Suri. Sher Khan ruled from Sasaram in modern-day Bihar. They captured Godh, the capital of Bengal, and besieged Mahmud Shah, the ruler of Bengal. After Humayun's death, Akbar came into the throne. Two major sources which provide information about Akbar's period are Akbarnama and the Aini Akbari written by Abul Fazl, one of the 9 jewels of Akbar's court. The first volume of Akbarnama dealt with Akbar's ancestors and the second volume recorded the events of Akbar's reign. Its concluding portion consists of an account of Akbar's administration, agrarian system and the empire and is known as Aini Akbari. At first, Akbar took steps to end the conflict within the nobility. He suppressed the revolt of his half-brother Mirza Hakim, the governor of Kabul, and the Uzbeks who were unhappy with Akbar's growing stature. Now, Akbar knew that to have a stable empire, he must control the Rajputs, large territory under the Rajput kings in the neighboring region of Rajputana. Akbar tried to win over the Rajputs wherever possible and inducted Rajput kings into Mughal service. He treated them at par with Mughal nobility by marrying Jodhabai, daughter of Raja Bihari Mal of Jaipur 1562. Akbar displayed his secular policy towards Hindu. Many Rajput kings helped Akbar in expanding and consolidating the Mughal empire. The only Rajput king who stood against Akbar was Rana Pratap, the ruler of Mewar, and his son Amar Singh. Akbar captured Chittor in 1568 and the Ranthambore in 1569. The famous Battle of Haldighat was fought between the Mughals and Rana Pratap in 1576. Rana was able to recapture many of his lost territories from the Mughals, including Kumbhalgarh. He established his new capital at Chawand and was thus able to secure the honor of Mewar. Next, Jahangir, son of Akbar, came to the throne and after Akbar's death in 1605 CE. He was known for his imperial justice to his people, irrespective of their religious faith. He continued Akbar's policy and earned respect from all spheres of the society. Mughal rule under the Jahangir was noted for political stability, brisk economic activity, beautiful painting and monumental building. During Jahangir's time, European traders had started coming to India. In 1608, Captain William Hawkins and in 1615, Sir Thomas Roe came to India. After the father's death, Shah Jahan or the Prince Khurram ascended the throne in 1628. He faced two major revolts during the early part of his rule by Khan Jahan Lodi and by Juhir Singh of Bundelkhand. There was famine and plague in large part of the Gujarat, Khandesh and Deccan, in which thousands of people died. The Nizam Shahi dynasty of Ahmednagar was brought under Mughal control by Shah Jahan. The Deccan Sultanate of Bijapur and Golconda accepted his supremacy in 1636. Aurangzeb, the next Mughal ruler, had three rival brothers, so his accession to the throne was not smooth. He killed his brother and imprisoned his father Shah Jahan and crowned himself at Delhi, assuming the title of Alamgir. He ruled for 50 years till his death in February 1707 in Ahmednagar. During the reign of Aurangzeb was able to annex Bijapur and Golconda. The last 26 years of his life were full of conflicts in the Deccan and North India. Okay, thank you. Next, the rest.